Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bible Guy. Do you want to see miracles in your life? It's a bit of a rhetorical question. Only one answer to that, isn't there? Well, then do this. Um, do this. We're going to look at this in John chapter 11 today, and it's seen throughout the Gospels. I just want to start with a disclaimer and say I don't want to be too mechanistic about this, where we treat God like a genie in a lamp, where we just give him a rub, we add this ingredient in, and out pops this result. But it is to say that God will do miracles. He's done them throughout the Gospels, and He'll do them in our lives as well. And I've even been the benefactor of miracles in my own life. But there is something that we must do, I believe, that Jesus looks for if we want to see miracles in our life. We see this in John chapter 11 when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. It says in John chapter 11, and we'll just read in verse 41, it says, "They took away the stone. Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you've heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe you sent me." When he said this, Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." Let him go. The guy is raised from the dead again. Mary and Martha have their brother back, and the community are astonished. The greatest miracle, you could argue, maybe, in all of the Gospels that Jesus produced. Incredible, incredible miracle. And we see Jesus doing stuff like this time and time again, where people were in complete awe of what Jesus done. Jesus will do miracles, and he promised to do miracles then in order to testify to who he was. That was the sign that he was the Messiah, which helped people have faith in him. But he also promised the faith as small as a mustard seed for all his followers, that miracles could happen for all of us, that he would still be working to draw men to himself and working personally in the lives of his followers, whether he be present on earth or not, although his myth is obviously in spirit. Jesus will do miracles. What miracles would we like to see in our lives? Would we love to have a change in relationship? Would we love, like me, to be in the ministry? To have more of a clear vision for our life in 2023? Would we like to see changes in our health or our family, our physical well-being, our mental well-being, or any number of other things where we just love to see some change? Whether it be sin, personality traits, or just some big change. I've seen massive changes and miracles in 2022 for myself, where my dream of working for God full time in the ministry took place this very year. Something I was told many times that's probably never going to happen. But I had something in my heart. I dropped down in my days and I did many different things, and it happened. It happened. God did miracles. What can he do in 2023? What can he do in our life in 2023? We know he wants to do miracles. We know that it's just the suspension of the natural order. It's easy for him, but it's astonishing for us. We all want to see something incredible. We all want to see miracles which are in line with God's will and are very noble. They're not for a new Ferrari. A new car would be good given the problems I've had, but that's another matter. But what does Jesus look for, though? We want to see miracles, but is there an ingredient that must be there in order for Jesus to do miracles? For God to do miracles? Is there something that he looks for? Is there something we can see? Well, I believe there is, and I think we can see it here in John chapter 11. Before Lazarus is raised from the dead, what does he ask Mary and Martha to do? Let's look. John chapter 11, verse 38, Jesus, once more deeply moved, so before what we read earlier, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. Martha's response? The sister of the dead man, "By this time there's a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Jesus' response to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So Jesus was testing the faith of Martha here. And he asked her, "Roll away the stone." Now, does that not seem strange? Could Jesus not roll away the stone himself? Is he not just about to raise the man from the dead who's been in the grave for 4 days, who's medically dead, flatlined? Could he not roll away this stone discreetly so that people don't notice, or breathe on it, or just roll it away with his finger, or make it look like he's super strong? He could easily roll this stone away, but he doesn't. Why? He wants to test the faith of Martha and the people around, because there's a consequence to rolling away the stone. Because it might make her look silly. If she rolls it away, bad smell comes out, but nothing good like Lazarus raising comes about. So there are consequences to the step of faith that she would have to take here. There's an expectation of Jesus. You need to display faith. I need to see your faith. Take that step of faith. If you want to see this miracle, again, I'm not saying whether he would have done it or not, but he wanted to see her take this step of faith. Go and roll away the stone. And it tested her faith, because then she's like, well, but there's going to be an odor. She didn't see it fully. And Jesus reminded her, did I not tell you? Take that step of faith. Take the step of faith. You see exactly the same thing in John chapter 9. Jesus heals the blind man. He gets spits on the ground, makes some mud, puts it in the man's eyes, and we're all waiting for him to wipe it off so we can see. And he goes, go and wash in the pool of Siloam. Again, John chapter 9 and verse 6 and 7. Go and wash there. So the man goes away and washes, and he comes home saying, Jesus says, I'll heal you. I'll take away your blindness. I'll put mud in your eyes. I'll do something that makes it look like maybe that's where the magic lies. But it only then happens if you follow my instructions and take the step of faith. The man could easily have said, no, why do I need to do that for? Can you not? Jesus could have just wiped it off. Jesus could have just rolled the stone away. But he didn't. He wanted to see that they have faith. And most importantly, will they take, because faith results in action, will they take the step of faith necessary in order to see the miracle? Step of faith is not, the power doesn't come from us, but it's the essential ingredient to seeing miracles in the Gospels here, but also for us. What miracles would we like to see now, but in 2023? What miracles would we love to see God working in our life, in our church life, family life, career life, financial life? What miracles would we like to see? Well, do we have the faith that he wants to do miracles in those areas as we try to help people and try to, help grow the church and all these other great activities we're involved in? Well, will we take the step of faith that demonstrates that we have faith? I think this is what he's doing. I look at my year this year and I think, what I want to see in 2023, I want to see the church grow in its love for people and love for the lost. And I want to see this in myself, resulting in more, numerically more people, but also greater love for people, greater love that people have for their neighbor. Will I take the small steps of faith to show that I want to see God doing that miracle in the life of myself and in the church? I have other personal ones I want to see. I want to get more devoted time once a week to head off with God and fast more often. There's various things I'd like to see. But the question is this. There's lots of stuff we'd like to see. The question is this. Will we take the steps of faith necessary that demonstrate that we've got the faith to believe? What little small steps of faith can we take in 2023? The small steps towards the bigger goal. Remember, we're not saying God will do whatever we want, but he can do miracles and he will do miracles. But he's looking for us to see, will you take that small step of faith? Have a think and let me know what it is. What is that small step of faith for you? Again, remember this. The step of faith will almost always be a step of faith because you feel fearful. You're worried about being embarrassed. You're worried about looking silly. You're worried about rolling away the stone and the odor gets out. You're worried about looking stupid in front of your friends. You're worried about taking the step and it doesn't work out. Remember, faith stands opposed to all the negative thoughts that are on our head about how it can go wrong. That's where faith stands out the most. What small steps of faith can we take in 2023 to see God's miracles? If you like this today, please hit the like button. Please share this on for other people. Please subscribe to That Bible Guy if you haven't already. And let's get his word out there.